Hello everyone. So in this session we will discuss the Python variables. Okay. And then we will discuss the Python data types. Okay. So before moving forward, I just want to let you know that this is the session number 2. We have already did the session number 1. Okay. So in that session, in the session number 1, we have discussed that what is Python, the features of Python, the basic requirements, who can do Python. Okay. And then we have discussed the softwares that are needed for using the Python. So now from where you can watch the session number 1. So you can open your YouTube. Okay, from here you can search for YouTube. Okay. Now from here you can search for the channel name, that is this one. Okay, click on the channel icon. And from here click on live. Here from here you can watch. Right click, open link in your deck. Now from here you can watch the session number 1. Okay. So if you're not familiar with Python, like what is Python, like who use Python, like why we use Python, why Python is so popular, etc., then you can watch this whole video. Okay. In this session, we have discussed everything about Python, the course content, core Python, the advanced Python course content. Okay. Like why Python is important, you can do Python, the basic requirements of doing Python. Okay, and the system requirements for using a Python Indian system. Okay, so you can watch this whole video for 5 minutes. Okay, from this you can get an idea like what is Python, where you can use Python. Okay, so but now you can watch this after the session. Okay, for now we will take a quick revision, quick recap of the previous session. Okay, so we can. Okay, so yesterday we had discussed Python basics. Okay, like what is Python? So we have discussed the Python features. So let me name that features of Python. Okay, like what is Python and the features of Python. So first, Python is easy to understand. Second, Python is easy to understand and easy to use. Okay, like easy to write the syntax of the Python. Second, it is Python is a interpreted programming language. Okay, so Python is a object-oriented programming language. So it is an object-oriented programming language. Okay, then Python is a dynamic in nature. So Python is so basically Python is easy to understand and easy to use. Python is an interpreted programming language. It is an object-oriented programming language. Python is a dynamic in nature. We have two types of Python, Python 2 and Python 3. Okay. Now, basically, why Python is a dynamic in nature, why Python is a interpreted programming language, then you can watch the previous video for it. Okay, the session 1 video. It is just a quick recap. Okay. So basically, these are the important features of Python. And Python is a general purpose. Sorry. So Python is a general purpose language. Okay. So the basic softwares. First, we will use Python 3.10. Okay. And then we will use IDE. IDE means integrated development environment. Okay, for this we will use basically we have many IDEs. We have many IDEs like we have VS Code, means Visual Studio Code. So Visual Studio Code. We have Atom for that. We have PyCharm. We have Anaconda. Okay. We have Spider. Okay, and we have Sublime, Test, Edit. Okay, so you can go for any IDE, okay, of your choice. But for our session, we will use VS Code and PyCharm. Okay, basically VS Code is very user friendly and it is like beginner friendly. Okay, you can start with the Visual Studio Code, or you can go with the PyCharm. Okay, both are very flexible in nature. So, and why Python is general purpose language? Because we can use Python everywhere in every domain. We can use Python in data science, in machine learning, in AI, artificial intelligence, in neural networks, as well as we can use Python automation, cybersecurity, networking, or web application, web development, or application development. So we can use Python everywhere. Now, even Python is an open source also. Okay, so we can write open source. It is a cross platform. Okay, like we can use Python in every platform. We can use in Windows, we can use in Mac, we can use in Linux. Okay, even we can use in Android and iOS. Yes. Okay, and Python is an interpreted language. So these are the most important features of the Python. Okay, where you can like these features you can see everywhere. Okay, so now what is the meaning of the cross-platform open source? Why Python is open source? So you can see the previous video for the detail. Okay, so now we will install the Python 3 as well as IDE of the Python. Okay, then we will install some more extensions inside IDE, that is Visual Studio Code. So we will use IDE as a Visual Studio Code. Okay, so basically you can open your browser from here. You can search for Python download. Okay, so python.org, click on here. Okay, from here Python 3.11. We use Python 3.11.1. Okay, so click on download. Okay, now after that, click on the installation process. So for the Python, the installation process is very straightforward. Just click on Nest and Nest. Now, while installing the Python, you have to just check one box. Okay, so this is an important, very, very important note. Just check out, just click on the box in which it is written add to path. Okay, basically add to path. Okay, this is important. Otherwise, the Python will throw you an error. So just make sure that you click on this box or check out this box, add to path. Okay, otherwise the Python will throw an error. Okay. After that, everything is simple. Okay, just click on Nest and installation. Okay. Now, for the IDE, you can search for the Python VS Code. Okay, so VS Code download. Click on the code.visualstudio.com. Click on here. This is also cross-platform. Okay, you can download from Windows, Mac, or Linux. It's your choice. Okay, so click on here. After installing, so after downloading, the installation process is like straightforward for the VS Code too. Okay, you can just click on Nest and install. Okay, now, so first let's get familiar with the interface of the VS Code. Okay, for to make sure that Python is successfully installed inside your system, you can open the CMD in your Windows. Okay, CMD. You can type Python here. And when you see that there's a version of Python, so Python is successfully installed. Okay, you can click on exit. Okay, now for the Visual Studio Code, open that. Okay, so this is the icon of the Visual Studio Code. Click on this. So this is the interface of the VS Code. Okay, now what do you have to do here? From here, click on this extensions. Okay, click on here extensions. Now here you have to search for Python. Okay. So click on this Python by Microsoft. Click on install. Okay. So for the extensions, inside VS Code. Okay. So basically, so you have to install Python for that. You have to install prettier. Okay, and then you have to install the icons. Okay, and then run. That is code runner. Okay, so search it one by one. Okay, Python. After that, click on run. Like search for run. So click on this code runner. Okay, click on install. After that, search for prettier from here. Okay, click on install. This is for the code formatter. Okay, after that, click on search for icons. Okay, so this is for the icons. Click on install. Okay, after installing these four extensions, restart your VS Code. Click on cross, restart. Now, so now how to use this? So from here you can make a file. Okay, you can make any file, any type of file. You can open any file, you can open any folder. So now in from here, preferences, color theme, you can change the color theme of the Wireshark. Okay, from light, etc. Like we have light color, which is so ugly. So we will use the dark VS Code. Okay. Now, so you can right click, you can create a folder inside your desktop. Okay, on your desktop. So let's say new underscore folder. So open this on the VS Code. Okay, drag. Either you can drag it. Okay, like you can drag on your VS Code like this. Or you can open your VS Code first. Click on file, open folder. Click on here, click on desktop. Now search for the folder name, that is new folder, and click on select folder. Okay, or you can open like this. So it's your choice. Now click across this option. Now from here, see there's an option of new file, new folder, and refresh. New file, new folder, and then refresh. Click on new file from here. Okay, now name your file. So basically, the extension the Python uses is .py. Okay, .py. So we have to make a file with the extension .py. So let's say your file name and .py. Okay, so let's try it. New file, file .py. You can name your file anything. Okay, so now file is created. You can click on Control plus for zoom in. Control minus for zoom out. Okay. Now click on this here, this empty space. Now press Control B. Okay. This is a shortcut for hiding the tab bar. So Control B again. From here. Control B. Okay, like this. Now, this is how you can create a file in VS Code. Okay, so after installing this code runner, okay, you can see this icon here. 1 second. Yeah, you can see this icon here. Okay, to run the code. Now we will run a code here. Print. Just write print. Now what is print? We will understand this in later. So hello world. Okay, so Control S for save it. Then click on here run. See, hello world is printed. The output of the file. Okay, when you run this again, hello world. Okay, this icon will only appear when you install the code runner inside VS Code. Okay, so make sure of it. So print hello world. So print is a function which is used to print something, whatever you write inside a parenthesis or round brackets. Okay, so basically we can mention here, we have a print function. So basically print is a very common function, which print is a function inside Python, which is used to print something. Okay, whatever you type inside the parenthesis. Okay, round brackets are also known as parentheses. Okay, so print is a function which is used to print something, or which is used to display the output, or we can say that which is used to display the output. Okay, so now this is all about VS Code. Okay, like you can explore it by your own. Okay, more features of the VS Code. No, no. But for studying the Python coding, this is enough. Okay, now. So this is how you can install the Python 3 and VS Code. Okay, and you have to install 4 extensions inside your VS Code. That is important. Okay. And the extension of the Python file is .py. Likewise, we have .txt, dot XLS like this. So we have .py for the Python. Okay, like we have .c, .java, .html, etc. Now, first we will discuss the basic part of Python, that is variables. Okay, now what are variables in Python? So let's take an example. A equals 10. Okay, so 10 is a value and A is a variable here. Okay, so we are assigning the 10 value to A. So we can define variables like variables are the container that hold your value or that stores your value. So variables are the container that stores the value. Like any type of value, whether it is string or number or boolean. Okay, these are the data types that we will discuss later. So basically, for now, variables are the container that stores your value. Okay, where you can store your value. So A is a variable here and 10 is a value here. Okay, for example, let's take an example. Okay. So here, okay, so this box is a container and that is known as the variable. Okay, so this is a container and that is holding a value and 10 here is a value. Okay, so 10 here is a value that is stored inside the container, that is variable, and the name of this container is A. Okay, so name of this container is A. So that is known as the variable overall. Okay, so variable are the containers that stores your value. So A is a variable here and 10 is a value here. So we are assigning the value 10 to A with the help of this assignment operator. So this is equal sign is not a equal sign anymore inside Python. It is a assignment operator. Okay. Why it is a assignment operator? Because we are assigning 10 value to A. So that is why this is known as the assignment operator, because we are assigning the 10 value with the help of this operator only. Okay. So 10 is a operator. 10 is a value we are assigning inside A is a variable, and this equal sign is a assignment operator. Okay. So we can write A is a variable. 10 is a value here. What kind of value we will discuss it. And equal sign is a assignment operator. Okay, as simple as that. So now you can name your variable anything. Okay, like anything you can name, but there are some basic rules we have to follow for naming the variables, and that is known as naming conventions. Okay, so we have to follow the rules for naming the variables like A, B. You can name anything, but we have some basic rules. Okay, you have to follow, otherwise the Python will throw an error. Okay, so that is known as the naming conventions. Okay, naming conventions are like rules for naming the variables. Okay, because we can name like anything, but we have to follow some basic rules. Okay, like the basic rules for me. So first we have spaces are not allowed. Okay, spaces are not allowed inside your variable name. For example, first space name is equal to, let's say, John. This is a very wrong practice. Okay, this will throw an error first. Okay, because you are using a space inside a variable name, and spaces are not allowed inside while naming the variable. But what if you want to apply the space only? So for that you can use underscore, but we can use underscore in place of spaces. Okay, one second. Spaces. Okay. So first name, this is a wrong practice. So what we can do first, underscore name, and that is John. Okay, sorry, John. So we cannot use a space inside variable name, but we can use underscore. So this is right. So this is right. Okay, so this will throw an error. This first name will throw an error, and this will not throw any error. Okay, if you want to check, you can check inside Python interpreter, inside VS Code. So remove this. So we can write here first space name equal John. Okay, so when you run this, see, we have an error. Sorry, you have to save this Control S for saving and run this. See, we have an error, that is invalid syntax. So what we have to do, we have to use first underscore name. What if we use underscore, this will run successfully. Okay, we don't have any error. And if you want to print this, we can print first underscore name. Okay, so we have John here. Okay, but if we use a space like here, like this, space here also, so this will throw an error. Okay, so you have to make sure that you will not use space inside variable name. Okay, use underscore instead of space. Then second rule, reserved words are not allowed. Now, what are reserved words basically? Reserved words are the words that are reserved for the Python only. Okay, suppose these are additionally for Python, and Python have some basic reserved words that are also known as keywords. Okay, for example, we have this print statement. Print is a function which is used to print something. So here print is a statement here which is used to print something. So here print is a function here, and we cannot name any variable like any function name as a variable name. That is not allowed. For example, for example, print equal 10. This is wrong. Okay, this will throw an error because print is a reserved word for Python. Print statement here is have special meaning for the Python interpreter. Like Python interpreter is a know that this is my word, print is my property. Okay, no one can use it. So print is a word. No one can use it. Okay, so because print statement have special meaning for the Python interpreter. Okay, so print statement is so special for Python interpreter. We cannot use it anywhere instead of printing it. Okay, but we can use prints like this. Okay, we can use prints because prints is not a special word. Okay, so let me remove this. If you even check this, see, print equal 10. This will throw an error. Okay. So we cannot use reserved words as a variable name. Okay, so reserved words are not allowed in the variable name. Or we can say as a variable name. Then third number, special characters are not allowed. Okay, now special characters are, for example, we have these special characters. Exclamation mark, at the rate, hash. Okay, and then dollar, percentage, this one, this one, this one, etc. These are the reserved, like special characters. These are not allowed as a variable name. For example, you are writing like name, like this. Sorry, name is equal to John. So this is not allowed. So special characters are not allowed inside the variable name, either on the even on the starting and at end or in the middle. So special characters are not allowed in anywhere in the variable name. Okay, if you want to check, you can check inside Python, inside VS Code. Then rule number 4 is numbers are not allowed in the starting. For example, you are naming a variable like one number equal 1. okay, or 10, any number. So one number, it is a wrong bracket. You cannot use a number in the starting of the vary. Okay, but we can use number in the middle or in the last. So we can mention here, but we can use number at last or in the middle of the variable name. Okay, like we cannot do this, but we can use like number 1 equal 10. Okay, we can do this. Oh, okay. So basically numbers are not allowed in the starting, but we can use numbers in the middle or at last. Okay. Now, you can start your variable name with the uppercase and with the lowercase both. Okay. So these are the some basic rules in Python for naming the variables. First, spaces are not allowed, but you can use underscore in place of spaces. Reserved words are not allowed to like print, if, as, while, for. These are not allowed. These are the reserved words, which have a special meaning for the Python interpreter. These are the Python property. You cannot use it. Okay. No. Special characters are not allowed. Like these characters are not allowed anywhere in the variable name. Numbers are not allowed in the starting, but we can use a number in at last or the middle of the variable name. Okay, then we can use it. Now, most important point is this is the point I am adding from my side. From my side, always name your variable. So basically, always name your variable according to the variable value you are storing. For example, suppose you want to take the user age. Okay, you are naming the variable like a is equal to 18. 18 is the age. Okay, or you are naming age equal 18. So what is more efficient? This variable name or this variable name? Obviously, this one because you are naming the variable age equal 18. Okay, so we can easily identify or anyone if someone is reading your code, okay, from outside, any outsider is reading a code, so he or she can easily identify, okay, 18 is a age because the name of the variable is age. Means age is a variable in which it is storing someone's age. But here a is equal to 18. So this is now 18 is a number only. Okay, and a is a variable and 18 is a number. No one can easily identify like what is 18 here. So, but here age is a variable and 18 is a value. So, always name a variable according to your value. Okay, one second. Value. Okay. So, for example, name equal, let's say John. John is a name. Okay, we can name, let's say last name, Sky. Okay. Or you are naming like this, B equal John, C equal Sky. Okay, so this is not good. Okay, like which is more efficient, this one or this one? Basically, this one. So always remember, always name a variable according to the value you are storing. Okay, this will look your like make a code more efficient. Okay, because as you know, coding is not enough. Like anyone can do coding. What is important is how you are coding. Okay, okay, like how you are coding, how your code looks like. Okay, the length of your code is like matters, the speed of your code, the efficiency of your code, this is all matters inside the coding. Okay, okay, so these are the some basic rules of variables. Now let's see some examples. Okay, so let's say we have first name equal John. Okay, then we have age equal 18. Okay, and then we have we can mention the last name also, last underscore name equal Sky. Okay, or you can mention your name, or we can mention first underscore name. Okay, now if you run these, we will not have any error. Now let's print it one by one. Print the first underscore name. Sorry, print last underscore name, and then print age. Okay, So you can match this. Run this. Okay, so we have John, this guy 18. So these are the valid variables name. Okay, so this is we have like valid and invalid. Now we can even create a invalid name also, like you can mention like first space name is like John. So this is an invalid variable name. Now what is the benefit of using IDE here? Like we can use Python interpreter also. Okay, when you search for Python, we have Python IDL also. Okay, this one is a Python IDL, Python shell. You can write a code here also, like print hello world. Okay, I can't see this. Hello world is printed. Okay. Or we can mention, we can create a variable here. First underscore name equal John. Okay, we can now print first underscore name here. Okay, John. Spelling. Okay. So here we can also use the ideal of Python also, or you can use the IDE also. Both are same, but what is the benefit of using IDE here? Because IDE will tell you that there's an error in this code. Basically, we have this is the invalid variable name. Okay, this is a invalid variable name because we are using the space in the variable name. So the Python IDE that it is VS Code is showing that you have an error here. Okay, even it underlines the letter also. Okay, the word also where you have an error. So this and you have this red color here in the file name. So this is showing that you have an error inside your code. So that is the benefit of using the VS Code. And VS Code make your code like interactive. So like colorful. Okay, so that you can easily code it. Okay. Even you can change the color theme also from here. Preferences, color theme, and from here. Okay, so we have this now first name, and if you remove this underscore here in space, then there's an error. You can even name like first name. Okay, then we have to change this also. Okay, so this is all about variables. Okay, and these are the naming conventions. So this is like necessary to follow all the rules of the variables. Okay, otherwise Python will throw an error. Okay, now we have data types. So we have various types of data types. First, we will understand the basic data types. That is the strings, the numbers, okay, and then Boolean. This is the basic one. We have like a list, tuples, dictionary, set, frozen set. Okay, we will discuss that tomorrow. First, we will discuss this strings, numbers, and Boolean. So inside number, we have int, that is known as integer. We have float, and then we have complex. Okay, string, numbers, and Boolean. Inside Boolean, we have two values only, that is true and false. Okay, 0, 1, yes, no. So whenever you are using the Boolean values inside Python, you have to make sure that t of 2, like true of t should be in capital and false of f should be in capital. Means this f and this t should be in capital while using the Boolean values inside the Python. Okay, make sure that, let me write it. T of true and f of false should be in caps or capital letter while using Boolean values inside Python. Okay, make sure this. Okay, otherwise Python will throw an error. Okay, now we have the string. Now what are strings? Basically, anything or any character, any number, anything you write inside quotations is known as Python. Okay, so anything or we can write any. Okay. So basically, before that, what is data type even mean? See, data type is a type of value you are storing inside a variable. For example, you have name equal John. So here, data type means the type of value you are storing inside a variable. Okay. So suppose John is a value here. So John is a data type here. Okay. And which type of data type is string? So data type means which kind of value you are storing inside a particular variable. That is known as the data type. Okay. Now here string means any character that are inside the single, double or triple quotations are known as the strings. For example, we have this one. Now double, single or triple quotations. So this is double quotation. Let's say hello world. Okay, then we have single quotation hello world. And then we have triple quotation, this one. That is hello world. Hello world. Okay. So any characters that are inside double, single or triple quotations are known as strings. Okay, so you cannot do like this. You cannot use it like this, like double quotation here or single quotation here. You have to make sure double quotation in the starting and single that double quotation at last. So double double, single single or triple triple like this. Okay. So any characters or any set of characters inside quotations are known as the strings. Okay, like anything. Even you are writing a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, any number. This is also known as strings. Now this is not a number anymore for Python. Basically, this is a string for Python. Okay, for us it is a number, but for Python it is only a character, a set of characters. Okay, so basically you can try this. We can remove all this. Now here we can write, let's say, first underscore name. Okay, then quotation. This is known as double quotations. Okay, so we can write here John. Hit print. Now you have to type of variable we are storing inside first name. Okay, here we will use another function that is type. Type will check or type will print the type of value we are storing inside a particular variable. Run this str, that is class string. Okay, so inside Python, string is also known as str. Integer are also known as int. Float are float or complex is complex only. Okay, or boolean is bool. They are only float and they are only complex. Okay, so string are any characters that are inside quotations are known as strings. Okay, so here now we have integers, we have numbers, and we have complex numbers. So inside integers, numbers that are non-decimals. So all the non-decimal numbers are the integers, and all the decimal numbers are the float. Okay, simple. And complex combination of real and imaginary number. Okay, so let's take an example. Non-decimals like the simple decimal numbers, like this. These are the simple decimal numbers. And the float numbers are like 10 point, this one, 2, or 8, 8 point, like number, floating point number. Okay. A complex number like combination of real or imaginary number, like 1 plus, let's say 1j, okay, or 2j, anything. Okay, so you can use this. So we will name one by one. First, num1. Okay, we cannot name like one num. Okay, one num is wrong. So we will use num1 equal, let's say 12. Num2 equal 12.5. Okay, and print the type of value the variable are storing. That is num1. Okay, and print type num2. Okay, save it and then run it. See, num1, which is the first variable, it is storing an integer int, and second is complex, sorry, float. Okay. Now, if you want to print the numbers itself, so print num1. Okay, call the variable name just print num2. run this. 12 is a number that is integer, and 12.5 is a number here. Okay, like float here. Okay, now we have the complex. You can make a complex num3 1 plus, let's say, 1j. Okay, we can check type of this print. So type of num3, and we can print the num3 also. Save it and then run this. So num3 is a complex here. Okay, here 1 is a real number and j is an imaginary number. And then num3 we can print as it is. Okay, so these are the numbers: integer, float, and complex. Okay, so integer, float, and complex, these comes inside numbers category. Okay, and these are strings, and boolean are true and false. Okay, make sure of this point. So these are the very basic strings, data types in Python. Okay, now we will study in detail more data types tomorrow. Okay, now if you want to check the course content of Python, or if you want to see the previous session, then you can click on this video. You can see it from here. Okay, and if you want to see the course content of Python, like what are the modules we are going to cover, you can visit the website for it. Okay, JNtech website, official one. From here, you can click on the Python. Okay, scroll down. From here, you can check out the modules. Okay, you can even check the fee structure, the upcoming batches, the course duration, okay, etc. And if you have any query, then you can call on this number. Okay, both numbers are available. You can mail or you can WhatsApp, or you can fill the inquiry form and click on submit. Okay, so it's your choice. Okay, so feel free to ask anything for if you have an inquiry. Okay, so this is all about the data types and variables and the rules. Please follow the rules while naming the variables. Okay, and then we have 3 data types: string, numbers, and boolean. Now we have many more, like we have list, we have tuples, we have dictionaries, we have set, and then we have frozen set. Okay, that we will see tomorrow.